Hello everybody, I'm back with another packing video since you guys liked it a lot last time and I do a lot of traveling and have a lot of tips. So this is another packing video. This video is 17 tips for packing the best carry-on bag. So that's all the intro that's needed, so we're gonna get right into the video. Okay, I'm gonna try to keep this video fast because all my videos run so long. First tip. Pack everything in packing cubes. These were the ones that I got. They're from Amazon. I'll link them down below. They fit so nicely into the base of the bag, and that way everything just has a place and you can zip it up. It helps to compress all of the items and you know exactly where to go and get things from, and it keeps everything tidy when you're opening and closing your bag, especially on the trains and the airplanes. Second tip for how to pack the packing cubes. There are 3 ways you can do this: vertically folding, horizontally folding, or rolling. I honestly don't have a preference. I think they all have pros and cons about them. Rolling them is smaller. It compresses the clothes a lot more. Folding them vertically really helps you to see the clothes that you have, and then you're not going digging around for something. My tip is to do a combination of everything. So some of my clothes I folded vertically and some I rolled. The ones that I wore more frequently I rolled because I just kind of grabbed them. This brings us to tip number 3, which is keep the clothes that you're going to use less frequently at the bottom of your bag. So for us, we started in September when it was pretty hot in Italy especially, and we ended in December in the Nordic countries and in the UK when it was a lot colder. So the sweaters and the long pants we kept at the bottom of our cubes because we weren't reaching for them as often, and that was a really good way to organize everything. So that's kind of what I was saying about using a combination, is that we horizontally folded those at the bottom of our bag, and then I vertically folded my favorite ones and rolled the ones that I use less frequently. All right, tip number 4. This is something that we really needed and my mom brought for us when we were in France in like November, so 2 months into the trip. Dryer sheets help keep your bag smelling good. Our clothes smelled disgusting because we had a washing machine incident in Prague on like the 2nd week of the trip, and our bags and clothes smelled like mold the entire time. But I feel like that was going to happen to our bags either way because our clothes are in such a small space for so long that they were going to smell. So dryer sheets inside of your shoes and inside of each of the packing cubes keeps things smelling so good. They do feel a little gross, but that did not rub off on our clothes at all. So that was a huge tip, and big thanks to my mom for bringing those for us. Besides the dryer sheets, we also have these little lavender pouches that my mom got for us in France, and they smell so good, and they actually made a huge difference too. So this was also a very good way to get around the smelly bag. So moving on to toiletries, I have obviously dyed hair, so I use specific shampoo and conditioner, and bringing our stuff in little travel containers like this was just such a nice little piece of home, and it kept us feeling like fresh and clean like we did when we were at home while we were traveling. So that was a huge game changer for me. I loved bringing everything that I used at home in just little travel containers. That being said, if they offer the product in a travel size, get it. Tip 6, this is the biggest one, and the mistake that I made that honestly ruined brushing my teeth for me for the entire 4 months. I got the travel toothbrush. I'll put it on the screen. It's the one that flips up, and the inside of that got absolutely disgusting, and I hated it, like where the toothbrush head sits. So instead, from Amazon, I got these toothbrush covers. They came in a pack of 4 for like $2. I can link them down below too, and you just open them up and clip them around the head of your favorite toothbrush, and then it's a travel toothbrush. So that's a huge tip. Do not buy the travel toothbrushes. They're gross. Next tip is about footwear. I get this question a lot because footwear takes up a lot of room in your bag. When we left, I wore running shoes and I brought Converse in my bag because I thought I'd want to wear them as like a little streetwear style, just like the way I dressed at home when we were in the cities. But they hurt my feet because we did a lot of walking, and I always wore my running shoes. So I sent them home with my mom when we saw her in November. That being said, no one's going to know if you wear the same pair of shoes every day. So running shoes are for sure the way to go. They're so comfortable. The only other thing I would bring if you're going somewhere hot would be a cheap pair of waterproof shoes like sandals or flip-flops. And then you can throw them out if you don't like them and you're not too attached to them. But they're also really small, so they fit in your bag well. This is another big one for toiletries and just for any products that may leak or anything that may smell bad, or just an easy way to keep things organized is to put things in Ziploc bags or tiny little reusable bags like this. That keeps anything that could be leaking away from all of your stuff that could get wet, especially when you're just bringing carry-on, and it also helps to keep things organized. So you can put things like your socks and underwear, you can put your cables if you don't have a cable organizer, that sort of thing. The next tip along those lines is to bring a wet bag, not a reusable bag. Bring a Ziploc bag or a plastic bag or a waterproof reusable bag for anything that gets wet, especially if you're in a rush. Like when we left Prague, our clothes were still a little wet and we just had to put them back in our bag. Same with bathing suits. It's going to be really nice to just have a waterproof bag that you can shove anything in there, especially things that leak too. You'll just know that anything in that bag will not get wet. Okay, this one I talked about before, but it's a big one. You're gonna want good quality socks and underwear. I know that seems like common sense, but the socks that I brought all got holes in them, and then I just never went out and bought another pair. I don't know why. But if you get good socks and underwear that are gonna last, then that's gonna be a huge game changer because they'll be so comfortable and they'll dry quickly. Last tip that has to do with clothes is to create a capsule wardrobe. It's gonna be a game changer. I have a video that I'll put right here on creating a capsule wardrobe, and I want to make another one because I'm getting a lot of new clothes. That's going to be a game changer for being able to pack in a carry-on because you'll have really versatile pieces and you'll have to bring less of each different item, if that makes sense. For reference, this is one of these shirts that I brought with me. It looks nice with jeans. That's what I'm wearing right now. But I also put it over top of a lot of my dresses to be a little bit warmer and also turn it into like a little shirt skirt combo. But yeah, this is one of the pieces from my capsule wardrobe. These jeans are also from my capsule wardrobe. Using pill containers and Tic Tac containers and other sort of like compartmentalized containers is really good for organizing things that get lost easily, like jewelry and hair accessories, that sort of thing. So I really recommend the pill containers. I don't wear a lot of jewelry. Well, I wear a lot, but it's the same pieces every single day, so I didn't have that problem. But I did lose every single one of my hair ties and bobby pins, so that is probably what I'll do in the future. Tip 13, I think. I don't split up cash. I know this is going to be really controversial, but I thought I was going to lose it that way, and I was very confident in the safety of our bags. I always kept the cash in my wallet, and I always left my wallet in the place in my bag. I only took out the cash that I thought we'd need for the day. So I just think splitting up your cash runs the risk of losing it way more than it mitigates the risk of getting pickpocketed or having your cash stolen. So I wouldn't recommend it, but I know some people really like that. I just thought I'd throw it out there. We didn't have any issues. I just every day brought the cash we'd need, and that was it. Tip 14, bring a collapsible backpack in your bag. It's gonna be so versatile. We used it for hiking, we used it for day trips, used it for going out, and we put our big carry-on bags in the overhead. So when we wanted anything for the duration of the flight, we put it in here, like our laptops, our water bottles, the switch, all of our electronics and our cables. So that's what went in here, and it was a huge game changer. This doesn't take up a lot of room, and it was just such a great thing to have in our bags, and it made the flights a lot easier. Super fun cameo time. Kristen and I just saw at Decathlon a collapsible bag for $5. It collapses way smaller than the bags we brought, so we wish we brought that. That, for me at least, was one of the biggest challenges when we were planning on traveling with just the carry-on bags, was that I wanted another bag that I could bring with me on the plane with all of my in-flight necessities. So this was a really good way to have both. Okay, last three. This one's a big one. We got really bad colds, not COVID, really bad colds when we were in Europe. And we didn't bring anything from home that was cold related. So this is what we bought when we were over there. This is kind of like our big COVID bag. We have, so this tip is just to have a little cold kit. We have a little pack of tissues, and then we have some teas that we bought when we were over there. But bring Neocitrin. I love Neocitrin, and I feel like a placebo more than anything. It really helps my sore throat and my sinuses when I have a cold. So that was a huge game changer. We also have alcohol wipes, and on a different note, we have these little masks that you put your mask over top of it, obviously, but this just kind of keeps it off your face, and it was actually pretty helpful. My boyfriend's mom got them for us. Drinking water is super important when you're traveling. So we got these collapsible water bottles from Amazon before we left, and we did use them quite a bit. But the alternative to this is just getting a disposable water bottle that you're willing to throw out, that you bring with you every day. I know it's a lot worse for the environment, but there were times that we just wanted to throw this away. So it's super important to drink water. This is a great reusable option. But honestly, if you just have a disposable water bottle that you say you're going to use for the week and then just throw it out at the end, or throw it out in the city if you don't want to carry it around anymore, that's a good option too. All right, last two tips are kind of bonus tips. The first is to be aware that at least on the WestJet planes, the Boeing 787s, the ones that are doing the long haul flights now, do not have an in-wall plug-in. I'll show you what I mean. They don't have something capable of plugging that in like that. So this obviously wasn't an issue because our phones can charge with the USB port, but our laptops, mine only has a USB-C on both ends, so I couldn't charge that because it didn't have a wall plug-in, and we couldn't charge our Switch either. So that's just something to keep in mind when you're figuring out what you're gonna do on the plane. All right, the next tip is huge, and we only realized it when we were over there, but utilize Google Maps. It has and I know that sounds really self-explanatory, but it has so many really great features. The first one is you are able to download the map of a region and use it when you're offline. So that was a huge game changer for us because we obviously didn't have any data. So we downloaded the map of Amsterdam and Berlin, and we were able to search places just like we were online, but offline. And lastly, you can become a Google local guide. So that's what I am. I'm a local guide level 4, no big deal. But you can either become a local guide or you can utilize the local guides. To become a local guide, you just leave reviews and then you kind of level up through the system. But you can also create lists of your places that you've been. So for example, I've created things to do in a bunch of the different cities we've gone to. And that way, when you put them into Google Maps or when you look at the different... Hi, Bobby. This is my dog, Frank. Hi, baby. When you put your places into Google Maps or look at a list made by a local guide, you can see the proximity of each location and in reference to your hotel too, and you can kind of plan your day accordingly. So that is a really cool tip. I can do more on the local guides and that whole system, but Google Maps has a lot of really great uses that you kind of don't really think of. Frank really wants to be part of the video. So that is the end of the video. Frank and I say goodbye. I hope you found some of this useful. I know I do a lot of packing videos, but there's just so many great tips and things that you learn along the way when you're traveling that I want to share with everyone. And you guys seem to like them. So I hope you liked the video. Like and subscribe if you did, and I will get on the vlogs and finish posting them. And I try to put a video out a week. So thank you for watching. I love making YouTube videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See you later. Say bye, Frank. Bye, Frank.